always say there is a danger in trying to get people to rise to the occasion, because it's a good chance you really don't know what you have released. And if you release the wrong thing in that individual, they're going to show you what they're working with. You're going to become something that they never thought you would do.
Hi, this is TAS, Dr. TAS that is, and I am here with my mother, Gloria Bennett Smith. Now, sometimes we call her GBS, sometimes I call her Mama, so tell her what I'm be calling her during this time period. But we're here, and I wanted to come and personally bring her copy of Transformation, How Mama's Wisdom Unlocks the Secrets to Success. And I call it Mama Said. So, Mama, you, of course, helped me to, she was a beta reader, and she also gave feedback on the cover, but she hadn't seen the cover in person. So now that you've seen the cover, does it encompass what you thought, all the intricacies?
It does. It does. Now, this is a butterfly, correct?
Yes, that's a butterfly.
Okay. Yeah. And by it being a butterfly, we know how butterflies start as that little cocoon. Then she spreads her wings.
Yep.
So, with Mama Says on your front cover, she has spreaded her wings. And that was my intention of what I wanted you and my girls to be able to do through what the wisdom and the word that my mama taught me. Mama said. And I says Mama Says even to today. And sometimes I catches myself because people won't understand. I'm just to tell you what Mama said. And a lot of time, most time, I ask them, didn't your mother ever tell you anything?
What was the response? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I thought, okay, well, my mama told me a whole lot, and you really don't want me to get into it. Mm-hmm. No, they didn't tell them a lot, but Mom did.
Well, you haven't had a chance to read the dedication, the words that I wrote in here. Do you mind if I share them?
Yes, please do.
Let's see if I can read my handwriting. I said, she don't know what I'm getting ready to read. I said,
That's okay.
I'm reading it, Mama.
You're reading
You don't
it.
need your glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hello, Mama. I know I get on your nerves sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of growing up, I guess. But with each moment, I'm learning what it means to be responsible. My prayer is that one day when you need me, I'll be ready to take care of you. Take care of you the way you've always cared for me. Mama said, Teresa, I'm counting on you.
All right.
Love you more than words can say. Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. TAS, Gloria's daughter, Miss Laney's granddaughter. And I say that because I always will tell Mama when I've been Miss Laney's granddaughter. Every day I'm not Miss Laney's granddaughter. And Miss Laney, Grandma Laney, was my mom's mom. And she was a woman among women, and she's the reason why I am who I am. As you know, I never knew my grandmother. She died right before my mom graduated from high school, but I got to know my grandmother through my Mama Says. I have possession of my grandmother's curved top antique trunk that I got redone years ago, as well as my grandfather, her daddy's trunk too, but it's a flat trunk like a sailor's trunk. They are very old. It means so much to me because I did know my grandfather, and I believe I was his favorite, and I loved him so much. And he was a little man. He was not 5 feet. He was 4'10". Mm-hmm. 14. And so as you can see, me and Mama kind of on the short side. I tell everybody, if my daddy wants 6 feet, I may not have even been as tall as Mama, because Mama's 5'2" and I'm only 5'4".
I'm 5'1".
Well, see, she's 5'1" now. I was 5'5". Now I'm about 5'4"-ish. Because sometimes you get shorter as you get older, but it's good to be still here. So now, Mama, we talked about Mama Said, and of course, that I wrote Stronger.
Right.
And I think it's so befitting that you're in orange today.
It is, isn't it?
So you stronger now too, huh?
I'm stronger.
Treated me so bad. Stronger now?
Stronger.
So, I say that Mama Said was the precursor to Stronger.
Okay.
That I could not be stronger if you had not given me Mama Said.
Okay.
When I wrote this book in 2017 is when it was published. What did you think? Because I told you I was going to tell it all. And I didn't tell it all, but I told all the big pieces of it. And because it was my truth. So I was going to talk about the incest. I was going to talk about the bullying. I was going to talk about her brother being shot and killed on Sunday, January the 1st, 1978 by the police. He was a Vietnam veteran who was having a post-traumatic stress, a PTSD episode. So I was going to talk about that because all of those things help to shape the person that I am and my worldview. So how do you see me, or do you see Grandma in the story that I shared in Stronger?
I do. Mom believed in telling the truth. And you told the truth. Because, one time, maybe, I'm just telling it like it is. Your daddy didn't want the truth to get out there.
Oh, absolutely.
He didn't want the truth to get out there. But you took that from your grandma. As she said, if it happened, it happened.
It happened.
And own up to whatever happens. So, in Stronger, you were strong enough, had wisdom enough, and had courage enough to write in the book Stronger things that actually took place with you in your life. And sometimes we might not want other individuals to know about it because of the repercussion that may fall back on us. But you had came to the conclusion that it was time to let it be known. Because everything that shine is not gold.
No.
Everything that shines is not gold now. So you let it be known. Mm-hmm.
And I'm in my hometown right now talking with Mom. I don't live here, so now that it's out there and, I am on social media, I'm promoting books, I'm interviewing people, does it ever come up? Because I talk, even if the people haven't read the book, I talk about it all the time. Has anyone came up to you and said, "Oh, Miss Gloria, I just can't believe that happened to Teresa. How'd y'all let that happen? Y'all know I'm so Southern." Has anybody come up and said that?
They haven't came up to Miss Gloria
with that.
Oh, yeah,
that's true.
Can you imagine somebody coming up with me with that? No, there may be individuals that would love to approach me about it. But they would have a second thought about doing it.
Yes.
They'd have a second thought.
As my classmate would say, Miss Gloria speaks her mind.
I don't like you to get on my juice of fruit. But as long as you don't get on my juice of fruit, we fine. But now, if I'm approached about it, at a time, I call it my A game and my A plus game. If I'm on my A plus game, I can talk with you nicely about it.
Yes.
But if I'm not on that particular game, it would not be a good idea to approach me about it.
Well,
because for the simple reason, we want to keep it undercover. I like the little movie with, what's her name? Zendaya. What's her name? Keep it undercover.
Oh, you want to keep it undercover?
We like to keep everything undercover. And some things, the cover need to be taken off of. Pull the cover off. And I always says, you don't know I say this, but I tells my Eastern Star sister this every day. If somebody knows something about me, and they think that they're going to hold it over me, because right here in my little town, people holds a whole lot over here, but I have to pretend that I don't know it. But if someone was trying to hold something over me, I just come out and let you know. Oh, at one time, I'm so sorry that I did it, but I did such a thing. You can't hold me. I can't hold that over me now, having me to do things that you want me to do that maybe I don't want to do, or having me to participate that maybe I don't want to participate. So tell it, because there may be some that would have known about this and knowing that you was in the position and the different things that you was in would have held it over your head. And I keep thinking about what movie, because I say it a lot. You know, the movie is a movie that a lady said, behold, and she said it so sweet. I guess it's a Southern movie. We beholden to you. You don't want to be beholden to anybody.
Well, you know, I don't know about that movie, Mama, but you know, years ago I was doing some private duty, and I've told Mama this all the time. Well, not all the time, but we talk about it. You know, the lady, there was an older white lady, and she was talking about she didn't want to be beholden to her son. And I was young, you know, just out of college. I was doing this to get some extra money. And her son was a toy exec in New York, and I didn't understand. But as I got older, I understood what she meant. She didn't want to be beholden. So she would have wanted her son to visit her more. Maybe she wanted some other things, but she didn't want to be beholden. So I understand when you talk about the fact that when people know something about you that they don't think anyone else does, they can then use that to manipulate you. They use it to their advantage. And you know, when we talk about liberation and sharing your truth, there really is some liberation in it, if for no reason that people can't use what you told them against you.
Yes.
And you know, when I wrote the book, you know, I'm just so transparent. The thought crossed my mind, but I'm telling it because I'm going to tell it. It's not that somebody else is going to tell my story and do their slant with it. I'm going to tell it. So you're not going to have something to hold over me. It's my story. It's my truth. It's what makes me stronger. It's how I've learned to take care of me. Because if I deny all of this, am I taking care of me?
No, you're not.
No.
You're not.
And who's getting
because
hurt?
You're getting hurt because you can't own up to what happened to you.
But the thing then becomes, Mama, why is it, this is what me and Mama are when we're not live being filmed, why is it that people can't own up to what they are and what they done? Just tell it like we normally talk.
Well, you know I have that little word. You don't know my little new word.
You got a new word?
That I use at the church all the time for those people.
I new word now.
But it's real.
It's a nice one this time.
Oh, it's really nice. Pretend.
Oh.
Pretend. You know, once people pretend so long, they become who they think they have, who they pretend to be. But really, you're not. You're really not. You have, what do we call it? You have bought into your own
cover story.
Your own cover story. You bought into it. So we can't say, I'm this, or I did this, or I did that. We're always too good. And we know they are not.
But Mama, I go back to, you know, that sermon, I don't know if it was Reverend Koba, but someone preached years ago about being the best. Because you've heard me, because I think I came home, I was such a precocious little girl. I came home talking about that. So whatever it is, you be the best at it. And you know, this is where I was talking at the time. I'm going to clean it up for y'all though. If you the woman that gets around a lot in town, you know, the whatever.
And it may be a whole lot up, maybe more.
You know, but if you get around a lot, well, if you go, that's who you gonna be. Be the best.
Be the best. Be the best.
If that's what you're gonna be the best, baby.
Be the best.
Because if you've chosen to do that, why not be the best?
You're better than all the rest.
You better be, Tina.
You better be better than all the rest.
So
be the best.
Again, I never forgot that, but then that goes back to your new word, pretend. Well, if I'm pretending, and I understand when we talk about buying into your cover story, I bought my cover story, but every now and then there's a crack in the cover story. And then I'm lashing out at other people when I need to take care of my own crap because it's about me.
Really, it is.
So you know, it's it's like a statue. There's a crack happening, but I think super glue gonna keep it together, and it ain't.
But you see, about into that cover story, there's the crack. But what you see is you pick the individual, and you always see the bad side of that person.
Come on.
and you don't see
Come on,
what
black
has really
guy.
happened to you. You really see yourself in that person, but you can't own up to it because you have pretend so long and bought into your cover story.
Is that the problem, Miss Glory?
That's the problem.
Come on, Miss
Because I
Glory.
had said, I know somebody, I'm going to have to ease that into them today if the Lord let me live.
You ain't talking about them, Miss Glory. You talking about me, Miss
Oh,
Glory?
no, I'm not talking about you.
You know, Miss Glory be talking about me sometimes. But let me tell you now, because she tell me to my face. But now, come on now, I got to say, preach, black woman, preach, because you preaching there. Yeah, you see, there's a crack in my armor.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of me dealing with my own crack,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to project that on you. There's a problem with you.
Yes.
And when I look at the bullying that I experienced growing up, and even as an adult, as I've gotten away from it, because, you know, time and distance, then Mama said, baby, that ain't about you. That's about them.
It's about them.
And I know that from a academic perspective and training as a counselor, but you know, when you deal with stuff yourself, you got to be able to remove that part sometime and look at it in a real world lens. Yeah, that's not my issue. That's their issue. But if I had not told my story though, Miss Gloria.
Your story.
See, if I hadn't told my story, Miss Gloria, and if I hadn't had Mama say it, then I would be pray
for anybody.
Come on here. Come on now.
And then individuals that fall for anything that, you know, a lot of people fall for everything that somebody tell them. Don't do that. Don't do that. More than likely, it's a possibility they could be preying on you.
Come on.
And you don't even realize
it.
You just ho ho ho. And don't even realize what is happening to you. But I do know somebody, and it had came to me today, Glory. Because every time I talk to him, I tries to ease him over in a different direction. But it came to me, Glory, you need to talk to him today. But I had said I was going to talk to him this way. The person that they find whatever wrong, I want them to write down about 5 or 6 things, nice things. And I want you to say one of them nice things to that person every day. And want that person start looking better in your eyes. You know, in your eyesight. They'll start looking better.
And you know, that makes sense because basically what we're trying to do is we're shifting them from their lens because they're seeing nothing but negativity.
Yeah, oh boy. Yes.
As it relates to that person.
Yes.
And I understand we all got some negative parts of us.
We all got negative, but it's not something negative about a certain person every day.
No, it's not.
Every day.
No, that's you, baby.
Every day.
That's you, baby.
Every day. It's something wrong with them.
Because we can look at that because you know I'm always talking about how Mama said could be applied to different things. My job, no matter what your job is, every day it's not a negative. If it's a negative every day, you got to examine yourself. You in a relationship with somebody, every day it ain't negative. And I said ain't.
Every day, every now and then you do have a good day.
Yeah, because if you don't,
you never have a good day.
You need to check yourself.
That bothered me. And I told myself last night, you're gonna ease into that tomorrow with them, because it may be harming you, the one that have all this negativity against these other individuals, and it shouldn't be. You should get on their good side if they do have one. They really have one. Get on their good side and say nice things to them. And then when you're talking about them to somebody else, say something nice. Say something nice about them. And then I'm going to give them a mama say it.
Yeah, they need one.
I'm going to give them a mama say it. And I want them to call me and give me their opinion on different ones. And then I'll be able to tell them what Mama really was saying.
Because I had to tell Mama what Mama was saying too.
What she was really saying. She's not talking about no little titty stuff. She's actually telling you something that will help you survive, help you make it through life, help you become stronger in life. But you got to really know what she's saying.
And
you gotta really know what you're saying, though.
And as I've told Mama and I, and we still do it. We and you guys, this is not all the Mama says. This is just the first volume. But we would debate the Mama says like it was a class at Harvard. Because this is my interpretation. Mama going with her interpretation, and we got decades in between us. And because my thing is you got to dig deeper, because the meaning and significance of them are so mind blowing, and they continue to give to you. It's like the adage, teach a man how to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. It continues to give to me because it gives me insight into all the different situations that I encounter when I choose to access it. Because see, that's the thing, you have to be willing to access it. And when I think about strong, and I think about the person who said to me when they read my book, my first edition, because you're hearing it here, the second edition is on its way, coming to you very soon. They said to me that they need to go lay on somebody's couch. Well, yes, I've had therapy over the years, and I will tell you, I was in my first semester at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I couldn't sleep, and I'd gone to student help, and the person was like, well, what's going on? I'm like, there's nothing going on. And so they told me to, it was my doctor, she said, put a pad and a pen beside your bed. And when you can't sleep, write down what's on your mind. So I'm giving you guys a tip to do that too. When something's bothering you and you don't know what it is, but it's keeping you from doing something. And I wrote one name. And when I wrote the name down, I realized that the incest was bothering me. It always bothered me, but it was keeping me, because you probably have never heard this, I don't know if I told you, it was keeping me from sleeping. And so once we realized that, then she referred me to this group of where it was a group of individuals who'd been abused, sexually abused, or just abuse group, because I don't think everybody had been sexually abused, but it was a group, and I was the youngest person there. And so we were in a group counseling sessions, and so I attended that, and it was very helpful for me, and it began my real path to healing from that perspective. But I still had that question that I asked God, why? Why? Because I wanted to know why. Why? Why me? Why? And it's an interrogation. And then I realized, Teresa, in my 30s, I think it was, I thought, oh no, you got to stop interrogating God. Who are you to be interrogating him? And so I did. And then 8, 9, 10 years later, he gave me my answer. And thus has begun the process to the evolution of Dr. TAS, because I understood that it was painful, but I didn't go through this. Oh, Jesus, he just dropped something on me. I didn't go through the stuff that he gave me in here for me. I went through it for other individuals who did not have what he gave me to make sure I could survive it. And what he gave me was Mama Said. He gave me a grandmother that I didn't know, because I don't know if I would have gotten it if grandmama was living. But because she wasn't living, you gave it to me, and I was like a sponge. Every time you talked about something she said, and I used to ask you, do I look like her? And I haven't seen many pictures of her, and it's like a black and white picture, and I can't really see her facial features, but I was like, do I look like grandma? Because you talked about her, and she was like this mystical person for me. You see this, I don't really think I look like grandma. I don't think so, but she's in my heart, and she dwells in me, and she's been an angel for me. But yeah, it's because I've talked about that before too. I asked Dr. Drossman, psychiatrist, gastroenterologist that I used to work with many moons ago, I asked him, why is it that some people are able to have trauma, but they're sort of okay? And he said that one word, innate. Innate means it's something that's inborn. But sitting here with you now, I agree, it was something that was innate. But what it was, what then fertilized and watered and kept working it and nurturing it, was the Mama Says. Because I think in my DNA, because I had to come down through my parents, there was something in my DNA to help me to survive. But he had to help fertilize it. So what am I saying? Let me try to say this in regular old English for people, because I'm talking biblical stuff here. The Wizard of Oz comes in my mind right now. You had that, Dorothy, but you haven't activated it. Mama said was what I needed to activate what was inside of me to fight. It was what I needed to activate that. So then I began to push. Overcoming life's adversities will push you into your purpose. The answer was, Teresa, I had to push you into your purpose.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. He had to push me. But in order to push me, he had to give me Miss Laney. And all of her wisdom. She left it in you, Mama. And then you gave it to me. Yes, Mama, I want you to use it. Because sometimes Mama don't be using Mama said. I had to say, Mama, what Mama said? What did my mama say? Because it's like, you ain't Miss Laney's daughter right now, Mama. But we joking, but I'm serious about that. Because it's so easy for things around you to take you off your path, to make you lose your common sense, to make you act out of yourself. Because people want to see you act out of your nature, because you see, that means they controlling you. When they can get you to rise to the occasion, they be so sweet with it.
They are so sweet
Come
with
on,
it. But I always say, there is a danger in trying to get people to rise to the occasion.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's a good chance you really don't know what you have released.
Come on here.
And if you release the wrong thing in that individual, they're going to show you what they're working with. You're going to become something that they never thought you would do. They never thought you would say that.
Come on.
And at my church, my pastor always says, nobody can make you do anything. But Lord, I just got to say it. People can make you do something, because you can only take so much. Mm-hmm. And if somebody is hounding you and harassing you day and night, 365 days out of the year, and you try to sidestep it, pray it off, laugh it off, read it off, sing it off, and they still keep coming for you, I'm gonna go back to Mama said. I don't think that one's in the book, but Mama said she told me how to rectify that. She told me really how to rectify that. Okay. That her, we really want to put it in the book, but you had to put it in there like it really is.
Okay.
Okay. When I was coming up, them good church people always had something to say that I did. I was a junior usher. I was on the choir. I was an announcer for the choir. And they always come back. They never tell my mama. They tell my daddy what I did. So my daddy's going to always come home and want to jump on me. So that particular Saturday, Daddy came home. He took his little belt off. And my mama called Daddy, Buddy, what you going to do with that belt? You know how you take your little belt off and you fold it up, you double that little belt. And I'm sitting there. Miss So-and-so said such and such a thing about Glory. My mama, she looked over at me and she said, Glory, ma'am, did you do that? I didn't do that, Ma. Glory, did you do that? I didn't do that, Ma. Buddy, they call him my dad now. She said she didn't do that. Okay. Daddy went on that door because you know he looked. Mom told me, Glory, you're going to go to church tomorrow. And after church, you're going to go get Miss So-and-so, and you're going to go get your daddy. And you're going to bring up what your daddy said that she's told him that daddy's wanting to kill me over. Okay? So, and then Mom said, Glory, if you don't get that straight, and she said, but now I'm going to tell you this, it could go wrong. If Miss So-and-so stand there and tell a lie in front of your face, Glory, and you know you didn't do it. She said, I have given you permission. Don't fight her on that church ground, but you know our church is a highway out there. She said, you better drag her out there that highway and you better beat her. I'm talking about a good Christian woman now. You better beat Miss So-and-so. And if you don't beat Miss So-and-so, when you get back here to this house, I'm going to beat Glory. You understand? I got you, Ma. I got you, Ma. You understand, Glory? I understand, Ma. Okay, but now the little cute part about it, Miss So-and-so told my daddy she didn't tell him that. Mr. Buddy, I didn't tell you that. So-and-so, you told me that. Mr. Buddy, I didn't tell you that. Now, it was somebody else involved. We all on this little choir. They daddy beat them so bad. Now, we was young. That somebody from another state, you know, some of the relatives from another state came and got that particular young lady and carried her and raised her until she was an adult. And I guess it's been 20 years ago that I hadn't seen her since we was children. Under 20 years ago, I was at this certain church. And she was there. She had came into North Carolina to visit. And I thought, oh, Lord, it took you that many years to come back to Anson County because the good Christian tells stories. And everybody believes what comes out of a Christian mouth. But now, getting back to what happens to you. This happened to me every day, 365 days. This person harassed me. They bullied me. I sidestepped them. I cried about it. I prayed about it. And I went back to what Mama said. And I knew what Mama had told me. And I knew how she had said to handle it in person. I was not in person. When they brought three of us together, because somebody said, I said, well, can you bring that person in? Yes. I said, bring them in, please. I said, I want to hear them say, I did such and such a thing. What do you think? Yes, they did say it on that phone that I did it. And I said, no, I did not. I said, Glory, she's telling you to your face. You're on the phone, but she's saying it to your face. I told Mom to forgive me. I told the Lord to forgive me. And I asked that individual to forgive me. And I told him, I am not mad with you a bit. I am not mad with you. But what I told him, I don't think I can say it on here.
Ooh, just you say it, but leave out that word.
You are a bald-faced, blimp, snake in the grass. Blimp, B. And I told him again, I said, I'm not mad with you at all. I said, I'm hanging up the phone now. Have a great day.
And you felt so much better, didn't you, Miss Gloria?
Yeah, but I was wrong, though.
Oh, what were you wrong? I'm sorry, I'm missing a lesson here.
I told your sister, and she was just so disappointed in me.
Oh.
Ma, you done got to this age.
You sure did.
Ma, you done got to this
you done got
age.
To run,
and you done let somebody.
You sure did.
Trip you up like
you
that.
Sure did, Miss Gloria.
She told me, Ma, you got to that age.
You done got up with fleas now.
That's what she told me. Ma, you done did wrong.
Got up with them fleas.
I tried to sidestep it, and I told him, leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. I'm not bothering you. But now your middle sister, she just so disappointed in her mama.
I know she was.
But I took what Mama said, and I went there in person, and I couldn't take them out in the road or take them in the yard. So it just rolled out so beautifully. And like I said, I asked God to forgive me, and I asked my mama to forgive me.
Yes, ma'am.
But I told Ma, I have tried. Ma, I have sidestepped people for 100 years, and I'm going to get to be 100 years old, and now they're going to come for me. And they're going to come for me bad, and I had to do it. I had to do it.
You had to do it.
I had to do it. And I still ask the Lord forgive me. But they haven't bothered me anymore.
Well, that took care of that.
I haven't, because even my baby daughter had told him, keep my mama's name out of your mouth.
Yeah,
but it didn't work.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Miss Glory, I cry about everything. Everybody know I'm the crying
I usually
prophet.
be crying.
But the thing is, as human beings, we have to get to a place where we can build that shield around us. That fence of protection around us, and we are taught that we are supposed to confess our sins. And I'm missing it, but you can quote it better than me. When we're giving ourselves to Christ, we're supposed to confess our sins and blah 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 blah. But when you're confessing your sins, think about it this way: you're being honest with yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so, in Stronger, that's what I was. I was honest about who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not a spiteful person. I'm not someone that wants other people to not succeed. I want everybody to succeed because I know how hard it is to dig yourself out of something, either of your own making or your life circumstances. So, I want people to succeed, but I have to be transparent because I don't think you have to have experienced everything in life in order to be able to help someone, but you do need to have experienced something. And I can't help people live their best life, take care of them, if I haven't experienced something. And that's the reason why I understand now what Dr. Drossman was saying today, because of Mama Said, that was there. And with the second edition of Stronger, How Overcoming Life's Adversity Can Push You Into Your Purpose, I don't change the story because the story is what it is. But I've added some additional items to it. And if you read any of my books, I can't do anything without having you go do a little work. I'm sorry, because I'm always thinking. And so I've got some questions in there. I changed some questions, revised, updated, and I added some additional questions. Mama's like, oh, she got some questions. Yeah, she doesn't see any questions. Because that mama is crazy. I digress. Mama, have you ever answered them? Have you finished answering the question?
No, I haven't answered those questions. Those questions are hard.
Mama, it's transformation.
Those questions are hard.
Mama, I said, Mama, she said she could answer them questions in transformation. And it's not, that's transformation, the book.
That's me, they're hard.
They're not hard questions,
They're hard.
but they require you to be honest with yourself.
Uh-oh.
So as I was sending her the questions again recently for the second edition of Stronger, and she was making that little face, and her body movements were changing as I was talking just now. So that made me think, she's feeling some way about the questions. But the questions are there to help you. These are things that I ask myself all the time, based upon the situation, because ultimately I don't want to be held captive by my life. I don't want to be held captive by the trauma. I don't want to be held captive by my relationships, the organizations, my church, my this, my mate, my whatever. I don't want to be held captive. And the way not to be held captive is you have to continuously do a deep dive of who you are and evaluate whether you're happy with who you are. If you're not happy, what you going to do about it? As I tell my mom all the time, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear people talking about the same thing over and over again. Get off the hamster wheel. And so Stronger is my story. It's my story of resilience. It's my story of dealing with the loss of my uncle right in front of me, dealing with the incest, dealing with the loss of my sight, dealing with not fitting in, and people not understanding that we should not want everybody to be like us, because we should have some variety. And just because someone is different, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. Maybe there's something wrong with you. And then maybe there may be something wrong with them. But it's not your place to tell them. It's not your place. Because do you want them to tell you what's wrong with them? Because I often say, people always want to tell me what's wrong with me, but will they give me permission to tell them what's wrong with them? Nobody has stepped up yet.
No,
because I'd like to tell people what I think is wrong with them. So, no, because y'all won't let me.
You can't.
Because, sometimes when I get upset with the men in my life, as Mae West says, not the men in my life, it's the life of my men. Look up Mae West, sex symbol. Because I grew up watching black and white movies with mother, and I love Mae West. When I was younger. Because, mama said stepped in, and I got stronger. But when I was younger, when I'd had enough, I went for the juggler. You figure it out. Because once I did that, you won't coming back. You can't come back from that, because I'm going to tell you all about what I think about it. Yes. You thought it was one thing, I'm going to let you know what it really is.
Oh, yes.
So, but you said, I've grown from there. And that's what I want people to do. You can overcome that type stuff. There's many sides to sides, like the three sides, was it E? Yeah, so there are many sides to people, but it doesn't mean the person is not being authentic. You just get a piece of each part of them.
That's true.
So when you see me with my sister Angelia, you get different pieces of me. You get the TAS that's spiritual, you get the TAS that's academic, you get the TAS that's the counselor, coach. Then you sometimes get Teresa. You get Teresa. You get Taj, you get the Dr. Smith, and then you get Teresa sometimes. She's sprinkled in there too, because I'm a human being. Sure. And that's what I want you to understand. And the reason why I knew it was now time to do the second edition of Stronger, How Overcoming Life's Adversity Can Push You into Your Purpose. Because people are pushing buttons every moment of the day.
Yes, they are.
And you got to get to a place where you understand that just because they push your button, you don't have to respond. But that takes time. It takes work.
And I was just going to say, now Mama said, you can hear people and you can see people. Yeah, Mama said. But can you not hear them and not see them?
Absolutely. It takes work now.
It takes work.
It takes work.
Now, it took me 100 years seeing and not seeing, hearing and not hearing.
But Mama, that's really turned that other cheek.
But then it finally came out.
But it came out, I know. But that's turned that other cheek, Mama, if you think about it. Because we don't know what it means to turn the other cheek. Meaning, I know you done me bad. I know you doing me bad right now. I'm talking to you so. It will help you. And letting people know how great you are. And I do mean that, because you do have some great tendencies. But I don't hear you no more. And I said it that way I meant to say it. I don't hear you no more, and I don't see you no more. Because that's to protect me, because you see, if I hear you and see you, you may not want to meet me.
And you can be right around them, but you don't hear them and you don't see them. Be right around them, and
I didn't even see them.
You don't even see them.
God is something, ain't it? Because that's a God thing.
Because that's that shield around.
That shield? Protection.
That protection of armor, that armor's around. But now, then if they run across you after 100 years, and that shield just opens up just a little bit.
And Mama gonna get out of here. She gonna get the blank, and then a blank, and a here blank, and a
I do not.
And a blank.
I do not.
Now, y'all know I got to have fun with Mama. But, Mama is a hoot. Because, she tries to take over my cooking show, too. So she's a hoot. And I brought them some stuff here. They're going to give me a critique. I don't even know what it is. I made bread pudding. And I was like, I think I should bring them some of that. I don't even know what it is. I said, I brought me a little slice, too. I don't even know what kind it is. She going to tell me. My daddy going to say, oh, that was good. Mama going to be like, it might be good, too, but I don't know. But she'll be like, oh, yeah, it was good. Yeah. It wasn't good. Because, see, again, she tried to still be my sous chef. For those that know that Mama is my sous chef, I done told Mama I got 2 new sous chefs. There's Chef Tassie Lou and Mason.
Okay.
And they's enough to deal with. And then sometime we'll have Mama too. Ooh, it's going to be a lot going on in the kitchen. I'm going to have to do 911 Gordon Ramsay. But Mama, this has been so much fun to talk with you and to give you your copy of Mama Said and to share what I wrote with the world. And for you to see Mama's book, because that's what she calls it, Mama's book. But it is Mama's book.
It is Mama's book.
It's Mama's book. And I'm so glad I got Mama's book done. Y'all just don't know. And so now that I've got Mama's book out, I'm going to release the second edition of Stronger, How Overcoming Life's Adversities Can Push You Into Your Purpose. And as I stated, it's got a few updates as far as questions. Oh, that's your phone. We don't mind it. Let it just ring, 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 ring another day. And so again, it's got some new sections in it. The story is the same because the story doesn't change, but the lessons can still be learned and expanded. And that's what I want. And I feel, because someone asked me, why did I want to do this at this time? Well, I wanted to do it at this time because I felt that, one, I'm in a different place. Two, it's time because there's so many things happening and people are feeling so many different ways, and they don't have their North Star. And so if something that I can do to impact that and make other people's lives better, then I want to do that because I understand. He gave me the answer to the why. Why me? Why this stuff happened to me? He gave it to me so that you can help other people. It ain't about you, Teresa. But I chose you to help other people. And that's what I have to do. And so that's the reason why the second edition of Stronger, How Overcoming Life's Adversities Can Push You Into Your Purpose is going to be out very, very soon. I ask you to please support me. And once you got the book, please reach out to me. I'd love to hear what you think about the book and how it's helped you in ways that I can improve it. Because again, my goal is to help other people overcome their challenges so that they can be pushed or they can walk into their purpose and have a life where they realize it's okay to take care of themselves first. You got to take care of you first. So Mama, thank you so much for being with me on this special edition of Talk with TAS. I could not have done any of this without you. As I said, I know I have gotten on your nerves. I get on her nerves every day. And I know it. And when I was thinking about that, and I was writing it, I tried to condense it, but when I was thinking about it, because I'm always thinking, one, I don't mind that I get on your nerves.
Okay.
Because it lets me know that you still kick it.
That's true too.
Your mind is still sharp.
Oh, that's true too.
And because if it wasn't, you wouldn't respond the way that you do. So I don't mind that.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, we're gonna still go at it back and forth. I'm just telling y'all that's the offline stuff. But I don't mind it because that lets me know that. But also, it should let you know that I care. And I'm still learning the lesson because I know as an educator, it's all about lifelong learning.
It is.
And that means that education, learning, has no expiration date.
Not whatsoever.
You're going to be learning until, unfortunately, you're no longer here, but you'll be learning in the afterlife. We're always going to be learning. So when I was writing that and thinking about it, it's like, I know I get on your nerves. I know I frustrate you. I know you think I always want it right then, but I get that from Mama because Mama wanted it right then. And I said, I can't say the phrase that she said that Grandmama said. Grandma said, get that blah, 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 out your blah, blah, blah. So you see, I grew up with it. You got to move quickly sort of mentality. So I have to move quickly. And now when I be wanting Mama to move quickly, she'd be like, you want me to do it right? No, not right this moment, Mom. You ain't got to get up and do it right this minute, but I do want you to get it done by this time because that's the environment that I grew up in. And so, but it'd be frustrating her. So I said, okay, to back off, Teresa, because you kind of frustrating Miss Gloria. And so I back off with GBS because we call the GBS. Well,
GBS.
Did they call you GBS too?
GBS.
Or just me?
Some people call me.
I mean,
no. Dr. Smith called me GBS.
Sister Smith called you GBS.
Dr. Smith called
So
me
it's just me and Sister Smith, because Anjay and Marley don't call you that.
They call me
Well, anyway, well, I call her Mama too, but GBS. I I don't know why, because she was GBS. And so I know GBS be wanting me to back out. And that's a good thing, Mama, because sometimes she be Mama. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she be Gloria. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she be Miss Gloria. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes she be GBS. Mm-hmm. And that's all different facets of Mama. So I have to interact with each one of those facets differently. And so, you know how it go, Mama.
I do.
So like I said, and I thought, well, I know it, but and I share that with that's for siblings. That's for children with their parents, mm-hmm. and parents with their children. We frustrate each other.
We do.
It goes both ways.
It does.
But it doesn't mean that there's not love there.
That's true. That's true.
And that's the reason I said I hope as I continue to grow, if the time comes and she needs me to be that person that steps in and handles things, that I've learned all the lessons along the way. She did not say, I wrote Mama Said, Teresa, I'm counting on it. That was a throwback to, because she didn't know this, that was a throwback to Mama Said, but it was also a part of a line that Bette Midler said in Beaches.
Oh, yes.
She was Beaches, Bette Midler was C.C. Bloom, mm-hmm. and Hershey, I can't think of her first name right now, was her friend. Mm-hmm. And her friend that they had met when they were little girls.
I think it was Elizabeth.
It might be Elizabeth. I can't remember. They met when they were friends in New Jersey on the boardwalk or whatever they call it. Mm-hmm. And so years later, they met again. And her friend eventually has this illness and she dies. Mm-hmm. And she wanted Cece, Bette Midler's character, to take care of her daughter. You got me now. You got me now.
I'm gonna get to crying over the movie. Yeah,
you got me now.
Like I said, there's certain stuff I cry over.
Yeah, she didn't know the connection. So when I wrote that, because she said what Cece Bloom says to her is, "I got a long memory," mm-hmm. and what she says is, "I'm counting on it." So when I wrote that, that's what I meant. Mama said, "I'm counting on it." So, again, she didn't know where I was coming from because she didn't know. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. You see, I cry all the time because Mama said made me stronger, not just for me and not just to get me stronger, but to give me what I needed for my family, for my friends, and for the world. So God says, I'm counting on it, Teresa. I'm counting on you to do your purpose. I'm counting on you to implement your purpose. Mm-hmm. I'm counting on you to impact the people that I need you to impact through your job, through your books, through just meeting them in the grocery store and they tell you their whole story, through your social media posts. I'm counting on it. And so that's what it meant. Mama said, okay. Teresa, I'm counting on it. So thank you guys for spending this time with me and Mama. I've made Mama cry now, and she's not used to crying on our screen, so she don't want to be seen crying. But I love you guys. I appreciate all of your support, and you know it. Before you go try and take care of somebody else, you know you better take care of yourself first.
Bye
now.
Bye.